Hey everyone, it's time for my November book haul. So I still haven't figured out exactly the system I have in place yet for these types of book hauls, because last month I did October's book haul in the beginning of November, but I feel like I should do it at the end of November. If new books come in before the last day, I'll just include it in December. That's normal, right? Well, that's what I'm going to do. So I have a decent amount of books, despite the fact that I said I wasn't going to buy any more, because that's what I do. I eat and I buy things. I have a lot of thin books this go around. Let's just go through it. The first one I bought was Sister Outsider, and this is a collection of collection of essays by Audre Lorde. And I bought this when I found out that the Black Future Book Club was going to be doing a video about this. I don't think I'm going to get it read before their meeting, which I think was either last weekend or this weekend, but I actually do have it on my TBR for December. Now we're getting into a series of books that I get from my local bookstore. The first one is A Clockwork Orange by Anthony Burgess. Obviously, I think we're familiar with this film. It is a cult classic. I'm excited for this. I'm excited for all these. I to be more creative. I've had this conversation before. Next up, I was shocked at how thin this is. 48 Charing Cross Road by Helen Heniff. I've heard a lot about this lately. I think it's about books or something like that. So obviously I am ecstatic about this book. And I guess I should say A Clockwork Orange, if you don't know what it's about, actually, I'm not sure I know what it's about. I saw the movie, but it's been so long. And even then, I was so young, I'm not sure I understood quite exactly what was going on. Some weird, surreal guys doing obnoxious, perhaps objectively evil things. I'm not quite sure. I just know it's like kind of a mindfuck. Next, this one's actually one I got on Amazon, and that is Monkey Beach by Eden Robinson. I've now read both of the books that she has released for the Trickster duology, which, by the way, has been made into a show on CBC. I've started it, I haven't finished it, but I am actually very intrigued by it. This, I think, is just a general fiction, maybe with magical realism, by Eden Robinson, who I should specify, Eden Robinson is an Indigenous author here in Canada, and I felt it'd be a good opportunity to invest in more, because now that I'm out of Eden Robinson books, I wanted another one, because I'd like to read more by her. First off, she has an amazing laugh. Just find a video of her talking and laughing. It's just a delight to listen to. But I really like her writing because it's accessible, and I felt like it was, I don't know, just really enjoyable, even when it kind of was dark. She has this sort of comedic style, which isn't necessarily comedic, it's just her way of approaching really difficult topics in a way that is just really amusing in a dark kind of way sometimes. Next, I bought, because it was there at my bookstore, but still, why not? Colson Whitehead, The Institutionist. I'm not sure what this is about. Considering the fact that I did not love Zone 1, I'm not sure why I thought this would be a good idea, but I did it anyway. Next, I gave in to popular demand, and I decided to buy Shot by P. Djeli Clark, who I think I may have bought another novella that they've written recently. I think they have a full-length novel coming out next year, but I've heard so much about this, and I'm just really excited about this concept. It's a horror, I think, fantasy, which has to do something with the KKK. I think it's going to be a really intriguing thing, because it's like some type of fantastical element going on here, but I'm not quite sure what it is. Maybe it's that they're demons or aliens. I don't know. Next up, another Indigenous authored book, which is A Moon of the Crusted Snow by Rabigesha Rice. And I don't remember where I heard about this. I just remember, I think, looking for some of the most popular or well-known Indigenous works in general or in Canada, and this is one that I came across. I remember it intrigued me at the time. I'm not sure what it's about. So that one was from Amazon. I now have another book from my local bookstore, which is The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde and Other Stories. Classic. I'm pretty sure you know what this is about. If not, look it up. I read several gothic horror classics in October, and I was really intrigued by them. I'm excited, or rather energized, to try out more now that I know that I can at least like some of them, if not all of them. Cough, cough, Dracula. Next up, we have another Carl Sagan, now that I've officially read all the Carl Sagan books that I owned. And that is The Varieties of Scientific Experiences, A Personal View of the Search for God by Carl Sagan, edited by Ellen Datlow. Wait, that's not right, sorry. Edited by Andrian, Carl Sagan's wife and widow. I've been reading so much Ellen Datlow lately, therefore Ellen Datlow. But this is a series of essays that came out after his death in 1996. I was really excited to be able to find this, honestly. First off, it's a pretty good copy, and I guess his newer works are more obscure, harder to get to, in a thrift environment, that is. Next was a book that intrigued me conceptually, but I don't quite want to dig into what it's about anymore because I don't remember. I don't just go in blind at this point. It's called The Jinn Falls in Love and Other Stories. It's a short story collection by Mavash Murad and Jared Sharin. And I think I got this for a couple of reasons. One, because the concept really intrigued me. And I want to say I think it has to do with like a jinn, like in the mythological sense. Don't hold me to that. And so I'm excited to get to it. A fascinating collection of new and classic tales of the fearsome jinn from best-selling, award-winning, and breakthrough international writers. Okay, so this is an anthology. I should be clear. I did not realize it was an anthology. Now we're getting into the last two, which were just utter binge buys because I could not help myself. But when Barack Obama came out with his new book, I wasn't interested at first. Then I kept hearing about it, and then I saw it, and then I found out that it's the first of his 2 terms, meaning it's the first of 2, and all of this came together to me thinking to myself, Josh, you need this. You need this now. You need it now. And it took everything in my power not to drop everything and just throw out my entire TBR and read this book after it came out, because I was really intrigued by this memoir. I talk about it in the history/politics book tag that I just did, and this is one that I think is really fascinating, and to hear his thoughts on his presidency, but also just to outline what's going on there. The picture is beautiful. Everything about this book is gorgeous. It feels beautiful. It smells good. It smells good. I love a good smelling book. But actually, mentioning a good smelling book, we're on my last book. That was also a binge buy once I found out that Dolly Parton had a new book. And that is Dolly Parton's Song Teller by Dolly Parton, which is a collection of her talking about how each of her songs got made. It's pretty much like a coffee table book like the Hamilton one, but this does have an audiobook narrated by her. And if you look at it like things like that, and I'm not kidding when I say it's like it's laced with opium or something, because Jesus, it smells so good. If you got like the new yearbook in high school and you just love the smell of it, like if you haven't done that, it's because you're normal, but I love the smell of new books, and this one has like the classic textbook smell. And oh god, it goes one more whiff, one more hit. Oh god, how weird is that? Oh god, it smells so good, and I mean that. And so Dolly Parton, who I love and adore, I need to get her other memoirs, or actual memoirs, instead of just this song diary. But who cares? It's Dolly Parton, and also this book is massive. I did not expect it to be this big, but you know what? At least got my money's worth, because this shit was not cheap. So that is it. That's my November TBR. As you can see, I've already sort of decorated for December, for Christmas, but I haven't got my tree yet. So I just have my lights up on my bookshelf, and I tried this different lighting because I wanted you to be able to appreciate the lights behind me. Hopefully you can still see what's going on, and hopefully next time I'll have a tree up. Hopefully. We'll see if that happens. But until next time, I do hope you all stay safe. Goodbye.